down, I was very, very unhappy. I couldn't imagine anything else because I was drinking. And when you are alcohol reliant, it keeps your world small and it convinces you to survive instead of dreaming, to cope instead of creating, to settle instead of soaring. Becoming alcohol free didn't just give me white space, it gave me permission to question the path I never thought I could leave. And what came next blew my fucking mind. I never imagined I would become a TV producer, a documentary filmmaker, a professional poker player, a global interviewer. And as sure as hell never imagined I would be helping thousands of people escape the grip of alcohol. Because for nearly 20 years, I thought I would die a railwayman. That was it. That was me. That was a box that I would eventually climb into, nail it shut, and call it quits. But then I became alcohol free as fuck, and everything changed. Welcome to the 1000 Days Sober podcast. My name is Davy. I am not an alcoholic. I refuse to be anonymous. I am someone who lives a self-led life, alcohol free as fuck, and I spend every waking moment of that life helping other people do the same. And I want to take you back in time today when I had no idea what a self-led life was. A time when my whole identity, my entire existence was stitched into one single label. I am a railwayman. And that's what I said when people asked me what I did. Not who I was, not what I loved, what I did. And from the ages of 16 to 35, I worked on the railways. And I planned to do that until I would have retired at 55, 5 years from now. Not because I loved it, but because it was safe, predictable. What we call in the Strive method, the path of least resistance. Even when I was drowning in gambling debt, even when I hated the routine, even when deep down I was very, very unhappy, I couldn't imagine anything else because I was drinking. And when you are alcohol reliant, it keeps your world small and it convinces you to survive instead of dreaming, to cope instead of creating, to settle instead of soaring. Becoming alcohol free didn't just give me white space, it gave me permission to question the path I never thought I could leave. And what came next blew my fucking mind. Right. We're about to take a short break, but before we do, I want to ask you something. Is the life you're living today really yours? Or is it the safest story you have ever told yourself? Have a think about that, and we'll be right back. Welcome back to the 1000 Days Sober podcast, where today we've been talking about the transformational power of becoming alcohol free as fuck. Not just to stop drinking, but to actually start living. Because here's what happened to me. Once I was no longer numbing myself, there was permission to start dreaming again. It really was. And at the time, I loved playing poker. I did. So I followed that spark. And I started to write about it. And hey ho, magazines started to publish my writing. And next thing you know, I'm traveling around the world as a professional poker player and also a writer writing at poker tournaments. And then I decided, you know what, actually, if I interview people, I'll get paid more than I do if I write something. So I started interviewing people. And then people would hire me more and more and more to interview more professional poker players. And then I became one of the foremost experts at interviewing poker players around the world. And then I became a podcast host. And then I wasn't just interviewing poker players. I was interviewing celebrities. I was interviewing authors. I was interviewing transformational change experts in the field of trauma, self-help, finance, you name it, I was interviewing them. And then my boss on the poker circuit turned around and says, Lee, we want you to be the TV producer for our show. And then later on, to be a documentary filmmaker at the same time. And while all this was happening, and I was getting stuck into all these different things, I was also training to become an Elementum Institute trained master life coach, and I was helping people, one-on-one coaches, to break free from alcohol whilst building the Strive method and growing the Strive community and helping thousands of people to live a self-led life, alcohol-free as fuck. And every single version of me that was buried beneath the label of railwayman began to rise up. And it never would have happened if I hadn't become alcohol-free as fuck. And this is why I wanted to record this episode today. Because there will be a lot of you out there thinking, if I stop drinking, I'll be cool. I'll physically get better. My face will look better. My relationships may get better. I'll have more money. But at Strive, it's more than that. Becoming alcohol-free as fuck isn't the end of something. It's the beginning of something. It can transform your life. It is too one-dimensional to think you are capable of one thing. You are capable of so much more. But alcohol numbs you to that possibility and to your purpose. This isn't about becoming sober. This is about becoming you. And Strive isn't about quitting drinking. It's about choosing to live awake, to stop playing the role and start playing the game that it was always yours to play. Okay, you're going to take today's vow with me. Today I will not drink because drinking keeps my life small and I was made for more. Today I say no to the story I inherited and yes to the one that I am going to create. As you go about your day to day, please reflect on these questions. What role have you unknowingly accepted as your entire identity? And what would you do if alcohol wasn't keeping you for dreaming? Have a think about that today. If this episode stirred something inside of you, please help someone else feel it too. Rate and review the podcast so more strivers can find us. You literally can be saving someone's life by asking them to subscribe. And you subscribe yourself so you never miss a daily dose of truth. The Strive Foundations course is going to be out this week. If you want to know about it, email me at thestrivemethod@gmail.com. Okay? All right. Ready to take the sovereign vow with me? Hand on your heart, one on your belly. Big deep breath. Repeat after me. I am a striver who is alcohol-free as fuck. And I will not drink because that is not what I do and that is not who I am. Until tomorrow, much love and strive on, everybody.